for the semester. How many days are in a semester? About 4 months. Okay, let's say 3 months times 30, 90 days. So you would even have rent for the next what? For the whole year. But now you just sit in. Just enjoying spending on those things. So do the mathematics. Okay, let's come back home. Let's look at the 5 essential competencies of emotional intelligence. Now these can be divided into 2. Alright? And remember, the 5 competencies we are going to talk about are areas that you can focus on to improve your level of emotional what? Intelligence. They can also be the basis of judgment to know somebody's level of emotional intelligence. Okay? So they can be divided into 2. One set relates to ourselves. One set relates to you. Is that okay? How you relate with your own self. Then the other set relates to others. How you relate with others. Have I communicated? Can you do some bit of writing at least? So that I feel good. Pretend. Be emotionally intelligent. Some of you are just talking because you have the handout. Just pretend that you're writing. I'll feel good. Okay? Yes. So, let's look at the first set. Those that relate to ourselves. 1 is self-awareness. 2 and I think you have this one, isn't it? Can you quickly mention them? Self-awareness. The second one? Self-management. Then the third one? So I have self-awareness, self-regulation, which is self-management, then self-motivation. What do you have? You have self-awareness, self-assessment, self-confidence, which is motivation. Is that okay? They are not any different. You'll see that different authors come up with different. Then the third one is empathy. And the fifth one is effective relations. Now these 2 are about others, and these 3 are about yourself. Okay? Okay, let's look at self. And by the way, just understand this. These are the competencies. Is that okay? In a different case, I'll give you about 10 other competencies that relate to this. Is that okay? Which bring in all those. Okay? That bring in all those. But suffice it to note that number 1, self-awareness. This is about you understanding who you are and your own feelings. Is that okay? You must be aware of your feelings. And there are very many things that affect your feelings. Okay? Some of these are related to time. For example, some people, when it comes to the end of the month, their feelings change. Why? Because they have to pay rent and they don't have the money. Is that okay? You must be aware of yourself. What are those things that can trigger your feelings, negatively or positively? You must be aware of that. You'll find some people dealing with kids, and because they are broke, they will shout and beat their kids. Have you seen them? Especially ladies.
No.
It is very rare to find a man hitting a kid.
That's
So, how many of you have kids? You see? Now, David and I also have. Do you hit your kids? Yes. The answer is no. So, you must be aware. Is that okay? And I may not belabor this because you have the handout. Secondly, self-management. You must be able to manage yourself. Okay? There are simple things we've been telling you, like time management. It's about managing yourself. Is that okay? So if you don't manage your time, we look at your... Because you know that when you don't manage your time, it affects other people. So what will drive you to manage your time is because you are aware how that particularly affects other people. But if you're not sensitive to that, so you just see people coming in late. Emotional intelligence very low. So we should understand if my emotional intelligence is high, or if I want to improve it, I should be cautious about how my time management skills affects other people. Other people never want to wait. You have a date and you decide to come late. You're not aware of the emotions that you're building in the other person. The person may think, for example, if you have a date, the time to arrive is at 5, and the person delays for 2 hours. What goes on within the 2 hours? No, friends, can you listen to my question? What happens? What goes on in your mind within the 2 hours? What are some of the ideas that come? Yes. Can you listen? I'll ask the question and you don't answer. But the thing is irresponsible. That goes on. Is this guy or this lady, and it can happen either way? Is this guy responsible? What are their ideas? What goes on in your mind?
person is avoiding.
Is avoiding you. Is this person just punishing me? Is this person trying to prove a point that I'm useless? Is this person trying to maybe they have chucked you? Who has been through such a stage? Where the other person has been late, even for 30 minutes. Yes. Man, they let you down. So, what happens? Even if it is for a meeting, and I'm bringing out the date because I know that you will contribute. If I was to say for lectures, when people come late, or when I came in and I found very few, did you hear the remarks I made? I asked you, aren't these people aware that I was coming? So there's a certain sense of rejection you feel as a lecturer, that people are not interested in what you're going to tell them. Now, if you are a student who is emotionally intelligent, you'll be cautious that if I get late, it affects, there's a way it affects my lecture. Therefore, I shouldn't be late. Just like a lecturer, you shouldn't be late. When you're late as a lecturer, what are some of the things? Maybe the students will say, hey, he's not coming, is he coming? That state of uncertainty is not a comfortable state. I would have done this, maybe you rushed, you didn't have breakfast, now you're deciding, should I go for breakfast or not? Is that okay? So, self-management, that's one of them. Self-management also includes other things, the way you dress. The way you dress, your appearance. Okay? It affects people. So if I was to come here, okay, I have a biceps. You would do. Some of you would deliberately walk out of class. That's why you have to be sensitive to that. When you see you gives you a dress code, for example, it is about building that area of self-management. Some people don't know how to dress. They were not taught at home how to dress up. You should be a gentleman. Can you clap for him? Stand up for recognition. Yeah, we're clapping for you. Also stand up.
Yes, natural.
The ladies are always smart. But so the way you dress, the way you manage your hair. Is that okay? I've had problems. The other day, David, there was a student who came and they had not combed their hair. So the colleague told me he's a basketballer. Then I said, so what? Is that okay? So we need to think through those areas and build ourselves. There's a lot of stuff that you need to do to demonstrate that you can manage yourself. And when you manage yourself, you have to be aware how it affects other people. Self-motivation from within, that drive to exert more effort at what you are doing. You have to be you have to show the passion for what you're doing. And that affects people. It creates believability. Even as a leader, you must have passion for what you're doing and let that be your motivation. If you have the wrong motivation, it will come out. Some of our politicians get to parliament for the wrong motive and it comes out. Others are there really to participate as legislators for the country and it pays off. Alright? So work on your motivation. That's very important. Empathy. As you relate with others. Empathy. What is empathy? This one you know.
Putting yourself in another person's position.
Yes. And you feel for them. As we go through with you, a skill as lecturers we build is assuming I was a student. Okay? My brother, are you alright? Are you sure? Positive. You're with me? You're just internalizing stuff. Okay, okay. I was worried a bit the way you see it, but it's okay. Now, if I'm a lecturer the way I am, if I'm to do a good job, part of the skill I must build is to always place myself in your position. If I were a student, are we together? So when I come in and say, now we are going to do a test, which can happen, even now. But, you know, just think back. If I were a student and a lecturer came in and told me a test now, how would that affect me? So we give a 2 weeks notice.
I wish they were here.
Is that okay? But also, it can help that you should, to train you to be prepared all the time. It's about self-management, that you should be prepared. So if I want to up that competence of self-management, I'll give the test now to see how prepared are you, such that next time you're always prepared. It works.
Yeah, then you don't consider it.
I've made the point. You don't block, okay? Let it go. So empathy, putting yourself in the other person's shoes. Now it doesn't mean that when they are crying, you also cry. Alright? But it is to be able to try and feel for the other person, to try and feel what the other person is feeling, to try and identify with their emotions such that you can relate with them properly. Remember, somebody has lost a parent and they come to you and say, excuse me, Mr. Chibuka, I will not be able to do the test because I have to go for Bhrm3. So you have lost your father. No, you can go, you go. When you come back, please see me. That is empathy. Okay? Then you come to Mr. Chibuka. I have lost a parent. Are you sure? Are we together? Say, hey, your father's died. You are not emotionally. Now, this, you can't pretend about some of these things. It is a skill that you have to build gradually.